You're getting through your life, but what I want to know is, are you actually living it? Today, let's explore how slowing down gives you the fulfillment and love of life that you're actually after. You found your way here to Waking Up with Ryan. I'm so glad that you pushed play. This is the place you and I come to wake up together. So let's take a deep breath and begin. Good morning, love. Slow down, you move too fast. You gotta make the morning last, just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy. Feeling groovy. One of the biggest problems we have in life is that we move too darn fast. While the universe and life itself with a capital L moves so slowly. And you and I are wanting to feel more connected to the universe, which means that we need to pay attention to pace. Because while you are moving so fast, the universe is moving slowly, patiently. And if you want to join it and you want to experience it joining you, it's not gonna speed up to meet you, at least in my experience. But if you slow down enough to meet its pace, it's as if a whole other world becomes available, shows itself to you. You and I tend to wake up in the morning charging ahead, thoughts going wild. And then adding caffeine, I love my caffeine, adding caffeine to the busyness, speeding up more. And we wonder why it feels as though this supportive universe is so distant. It's not distant, it's right here. It's just existing at a pace that's slower than your kind of caffeinated, busy mind. And so we have to slow down to meet it. Think about a massive tree. Trees can live for 1,000 years. And with that expanded lifetime, they move slowly. You can watch a tree for a long time and never see it grow. It just moves really slowly over time. And you and I, because we're fed this ego belief that you are this body that only exists for a short amount of time, it gives room to the mind to move so quickly, to think, I need to achieve, I need to do, I need to make, I need to handle. That survival mind that's always going moves really quickly, and that's okay as long as you're conscious of it and can break it up and train yourself to also move slowly. This is where in the great Jewish wisdom tradition we have the Sabbath. From Friday at sundown until Saturday at sundown, we stop everything. No technology, no traveling in a car. We sit with our family, we break bread, we light candles, we say prayers. We welcome what's called the Sabbath bride, the Shekhinah, the female aspect, the receiving. We welcome that female energy, the not doing. We shift from doing during the week to the receiving during the Sabbath, where we just sit, slow down, and be with life. Now, how does this also impact your day-to-day life when you're out in the world doing, working, taking care of things, handling your life? Well, the more you train yourself to slow down, and meet really the present moment, the more you'll have access to that when the mind is tempted to speed up. Esther Hicks uses this imagery of a car on a massive hill. So imagine the hills of San Francisco, super steep, and there's a car parked at the top of the hill. And for whatever reason, the parking brake disengages, and that car starts to slide down the hill. Where would you rather be? Would you rather be at the bottom of that hill, where that car has built so much momentum that it is going to completely flatten you? Or would you rather be at the top of that hill, where the car hasn't yet built momentum, where you actually, assuming you're able-bodied able to stop the car, ask for help, get someone to jump in and put the brake back on? I believe you'd rather be at the top of the hill where it hasn't built momentum. Now, the more slowly you move in life, the more you practice slowing down and doing nothing, which, by the way, goes against what the mind wants you to do. It seems counterintuitive. The more you slow down in practice, the more you'll have access when the mind is just at the top of the hill, about to start sliding into the spiral of thinking that you know, where it builds more and more and more momentum the more time it does its thing. The slower you're moving, the more likely you're going to catch the mind right at the top of the hill. Notice, mind is starting to speed me away from the present moment. What can I do to pause, sit, be mindful of where the mind is going, and come back to the present moment? So the less momentum the mind has, the more likelihood you're actually able to kind of stop it in its tracks. And so these sacred pauses that you can build into your life, in my experience, this is where life for me has gotten so much more interesting and honestly more abundant, more successful. The more I pause, notice the mind wanting to get me into action, and sit and slow down and take in the present moment and observe the beauty of what's here, the more connected I feel to life itself, and the more I get to witness the way life kind of has its way with me. The illusion that I am separate from life dissolves when I slow down. And I want that for you. And it deserves a reminder consistently, because you have to break the pattern of the pace that the mind is wanting to and used to moving. So, let's just take a few moments to have a practice of doing nothing. Recognizing that when we do nothing, you give yourself the opportunity to connect to everything. So closing your eyes if you can, taking a few deep breaths to rest into the present moment. The only doing we are doing is having taken our seat, doing the closing of the eyes, doing a few deep breaths. All of those actions preparing us to simply be here and meet this moment. Allowing each breath to literally drop you more and more here, pausing, being. Allowing your agendas to fall away for now. You can pick them back up later. Let's take a deep breath together and let it go. Trusting that sitting here in the nothingness is filling you with the wisdom and the direction and the opportunities that arise when you do move into action. Let's take one more deep breath in together and let it go. And if you're ready, opening your eyes. I appreciate you taking this sacred pause with me. It may seem too simple, but I find that true awakening, true spirituality is actually the simplest thing in the world. All we need to do is pause to meet what is always right here. Loving you from here. Hi. I hope you're feeling even just a little bit more prepared to take on the day. But before you go, I'd love to hear from you. And you can send me a voice note by going to my website, wakingupwithryan.com. Scroll down to the section that says, Send Ryan a voice note. Tap the button to leave me a voice message with a question you have, maybe a relationship challenge you're having, or a spiritual hang-up, some kind of an emotional struggle. Any topic that you'd love for me to address on the podcast, I want to hear from you. Loving you from here.